drinking the morning green tea. The monk is come, the flowers of chrysanthemum. An autumn haiku by Masho Basho. What a beautiful and simple reminder to pause, take care of ourselves, and contemplate. My name is Salma, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. Today, Reverend Sean will be sharing his Dharma Talk, From Bias to Awareness. Let us begin our practice together by reading The Truth of Ill One's Son on page 12. The Truth of Ill One's Son. Ill One is the original source of all things in the universe, the mind seal of all Buddhas and sages, and the original true of all sentient beings. The realm is where there is no discrimination regarding great and small, being and no being. The realm where there is no change and mean rising and ceasing, coming and going. The realm where wholesome and unwholesome karmic consequence has ceased. The realm where language, name, and signs are utterly void. Through the light of the void and calm, numerous awakens. The discrimination regarding great and small, being and no being, appear to become the distinction between wholesome and unwholesome karmic consequence comes into being. Language, names, and signs also become obvious, so that the triple world and the 10 directions appear like drums in the hand. Thus, this creative transformation of true voidness and marvelous existence freely conceal and reveal themselves through all things in the universe, through all vast egos without beginning. This is the truth of ill ones. Now, let's prepare ourselves for meditation. Please stand up behind your mat. Rebecca will lead us in movement to help warm up our bodies and circulate our energy.
Good morning. Let's start with breathing in, bringing up our Qi energy to chest high level and pushing it down to Danshan level. We'll do that 3 more times. In, out. And do it at your own breathing pace. Good. Now we'll start by loosening our joints. We'll start with our ankles in a circle. And changing direction. And I like to bend my toes. If that feels good, do that. Other side. If you hear popping, that is good. And change directions. And bend the toes if you like. Good. All right, now we'll put our hands on our knees and circle our knees in whichever way feels good to you. You can go slower or faster, whatever feels good. and change direction. Okay, moving up to the waist, hands on the waist, and we're moving our hips in a circle. Not necessarily moving our torso around, but the hips. And you can make wider circles or smaller, and changing direction as you wish. Good, okay, moving up to shoulders, we'll do small shoulder circles, starting small, and getting increasingly bigger circles. And the other way. And now time for the neck. So head down, stretching the neck, and then put your head to one side, ear to one shoulder. You can go all the way around if you wish, or just do half circles to the other side. Just making sure you're changing direction. Okay, loosen up a little bit. We're going to do some balance. So find your shoulder width apart, feet straight ahead. And your center of balance, it's generally in this area here, 2 inches below your navel. And you can put your hands here if it's easier to kind of keep your mind on that. And we're just going to shift our weight from one side to the other side. And rather than leaning our torso or our hips, so we're not doing this, even though it looks kind of cute, we're not doing that. We're just, basically you're bending this knee and putting more weight on this side as well. And just shifting the weight. Good. Excellent. Now let's do that facing in one direction, so foot in facing in one direction. And the back foot can be, it's not like you're on a balance beam, but your legs are spread out so that you have more balance. So it's not like you're in one line. And so we'll do the same thing. We're just going to shift the weight forward and shift the weight back. And that front foot can go up and you shift back. And shift forward and back. And it's almost as if there's so much weight on one leg that you could lift the other and perhaps balance, right? You could test yourself just a little bit. Good. All right, now we're going to keep doing this shifting, facing in this direction. But we're going to add arms. This is called hummingbird. And our arm's going to come forward as we shift our weight forward. Then we're going to pull the energy back, shift our weight back, forward, and back. And torso is straight rather than leaning. Good. Now let's shift that to the other side. Forward. And let's do one more. Okay, facing forward. Let's do a little weight shift this way. Feet a little farther than shoulder width apart. Bend your knees if you can. And we're just going to bend forward at the waist halfway. And then move to the other side and look up slightly. And then move to this side. And if you're very flexible, you can go much farther down or not, as you wish. Okay, let's do 2 more. Excellent. Standing straight back up, we will breathe in, breathe out. Two more times. This last time we'll put our palms together, feet together. And now join us in 4 bows to Dharmakaya Buddha.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the marvelous gift of nature and the universe. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents and everyone. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, the truth of interconnectedness among all beings. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guides us, protects us, and promotes justice. Meditation is simple and easy. Please take time to find your most comfortable position on the floor or in a chair. Wiggle to release any tension and focus on the energy in your lower abdomen. This is your Danjan, the power center for your breathing. When we settle our mind and energy in our Danjan, the energy flows and protects our one focused mind. Now bring your awareness to your tongue. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. When you do this, pure and clear saliva may gather under your tongue, a delightful sign of cool energy ascending. Smile at your calm and clear spirit. If over time your legs ache unbearably, you may change your position very slowly and quietly. In this way, you will maintain a calm stillness and honor the silent practice of those around you. When thoughts arise, do not play with them. Simply allow them to disappear. Continue to bring your awareness back to your Danjan abiding breath. When your mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation. We are grateful to sit here quietly together, finding the still point within. In meditation, may our ever calm, ever bright spirit be with us.
Yongju, page 4. Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansa Yoe Ashinja Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja Changji Yanggi Ashinja Mansayo Ashinta Changji Yoa Dong Ilche Ayo Changji Dong Shinja.
Prayer for world peace. Grace of heaven and earth, grace of parents, grace of fellow beings, grace of laws. O Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, may we take refuge in Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. May all nations grow and benefit mutually. May the strong help the weak, and may the weak learn and evolve according to Dharma. May all those who have died from world conflict and disasters be delivered through all obstacles and be at rest. May there be peace throughout the world, and may all beings enjoy tranquility and happiness, live in their original true nature. This we pray with our whole hearts. I wish and pray, sincerely and truly, where my hands touch the world, where my feet walk on the earth, where my voice echoes through the hills, and in all realms where my heart and mind reach, that we all together, share a true affinity for attaining great enlightenment and for helping all living beings.
One Song Vow on page 9. One Song Vow. One is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people and sentient beings. Ilwan manifests as both permanence and impermanence. Viewed as permanence, Ilwan unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is. Viewed as impermanence, Ilwan unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all things. According to how we use our minds and bodies in the four forms of birth, we transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan Song, the Dharmakaya Buddha, by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of Ilwan and become one with the nature of Ilwan.
It is hard to believe that 2 weeks already passed. It really makes me question what is really time. But I learned that it doesn't matter because we only have the present. In the present is where our mind aligns with our heart to find our true nature. The present is where we find our true love. The present is when we learn to let it go. The two most important things that I learned in this trip is all is grace. And when you help others from your heart, others will do the same to others. That is what I felt when talking and spending time with other members of the Won Buddhism family. This was an incredible experience that almost felt like a dream. I'm excited to go back home tomorrow and apply what I learned with others.
I can't believe it's about to be over. We have been here forever, and yet we just arrived. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to go on this pilgrimage to Korea. It has been transformative in many ways. Experiencing Korea's exquisite land with magnificent mountains and vibrant yellow rice fields has taught me about grace of heaven and earth. Seeing the historical sites of Won Buddhism in its birthplace has deepened my practice. The kind, generous spirits and many heartfelt gifts shared with us by members of the Won Buddhist community here has helped me comprehend requital of grace. Witnessing the sincere, sweet, gentle dedication of Won Buddhist students in Iksan and Yongsan has inspired me and given me hope. And of course, getting to know our gifted teacher Won Gong and my beautiful Dharma brothers and sisters as we have shared all this together brought me great joy, humor, love, and compassion. Thank you. 감사합니다.
This morning, Reverend Sean will share his reflections in a Dharma Talk called From Bias to Awareness. Let us practice deep listening as we warmly welcome Reverend Sean.
Good morning. 2 weeks ago, I had an opportunity to participate in the Spiritual Pride service at Eno River Unitarian Church. This event included short talks from various faith leaders, beautiful performances by a gay men's choir, and a flower offering ceremony honoring LGBTQ ancestors. The service concluded with participants taking their flowers outside, symbolizing the extension of the ancestors' spirit into the world. I shared some reflections and led the chant, "We are one, we are whole." This experience expoundingly moved me, awakening me to biases I had unknowingly harbored, and highlighted the importance of embracing diversity with an open heart. At the entrance of our temple residence, a sign reads, "Everyone welcome." But do I truly live by that principle? After that service, reflecting on various sensory conditions, I recognized how I had selectively perceived the world, embracing some experiences while disregarding others. In Won Buddhism, sensory conditions, 경계, encompass all experiences through the 6 senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Today we'll focus on 2 types: favorable sensory conditions and adverse sensory conditions. We often notice sensory conditions when they are adverse because challenges stand out. An adverse sensory condition is a challenging situation that obstructs spiritual progress. It describes a difficult environment where things do not unfold as desired. So when we encounter adversity, we realize, oh, this is sensory condition. We struggle, experience discomfort, and become acutely aware of our challenges. But do we equally recognize favorable sensory conditions? A favorable sensory condition occurs when the environment smoothly aligns with one's preferences. Things proceed as intended. It is a state where everything unfolds as planned, presenting no obstacles to spiritual practice. Now let us visit a passage from founding teacher Sotaesan. While climbing a steep mountain pass behind Cheongneon Hermitage with Yi Chunpung, the founding master said, "Climbing a steep pass naturally enhances my practice in one-pointedness of mind. Consequently, you rarely stumble on a steep trail, but are more prone to stumble on a level trail. So, too, you are more prone to make mistakes on an easy task than a difficult one. A practitioner who maintains consistent standards on either steep or level trails, or on easy or difficult tasks, will achieve single practice samadhi." End quote. I often recall this passage whenever I walk a challenging trail and think, oh my, focus comes naturally here. Initially, I interpreted this passage as a reminder to be cautious during favorable conditions. When I was young, there were little adversities and I stumbled a bit. On the other hand, I see some amazing people who live healthier lives even after a diabetes diagnosis, followed by a good diet and exercise. And Master Taesan used an analogy for these conditions. Favorable conditions are compared to a volcanic mountain, whereas adverse conditions are like a snowy mountain. If one were to get lost in a snowy mountain, at least the body would remain. But on a volcanic mountain, you cannot find the body, nothing left behind after being swallowed by lava. In favorable conditions, without our realizing it, comfort and ease can seductively draw us in, and we may fail to notice that we are losing ourselves in the conditions. While practicing with focus during adversity is possible, awareness often slips away in favorable conditions. So, how do we continue our practice when there are no apparent challenges or when we fail to notice them? In the passage above, Sotaesan mentions maintaining consistent standards, which means achieving single practice samadhi. This means to be engaged in this task without being distracted by another, and to be engaged in that task without being distracted by this one. In addition, single practice samadhi is not to be even attached to the current activity, but to maintain a clear, calm, true nature. So before we act, we check, have we maintained our clarity and calmness? Do our words and actions arise from that centered state? Whether we face favorable or adverse conditions, walk on flat ground or climb steep mountains, do we consistently remain anchored in that single awareness, original nature, or ilwan? Only when we remain in this state of oneness and see the world as it truly is, do all our actions come out as ilwan, naturally aligned with justice and righteousness. At the Spiritual Pride service, I shared reflections on how both the world's and my own awareness have evolved. During my time in the military, young soldiers used derogatory language about LGBTQ when teasing each other. What seemed like harmless humor to us was, in reality, adversity for others. And over time, thanks to the bravery of LGBTQ ancestors who spoke out, society has begun to acknowledge the value of each person, fostering a more inclusive world. And I remember and feel sorry for my awkward smile like a robot, especially when I was too careful not to offend my gay friends or foreigners by accident. Now I often check if I have a connection to single practice samadhi. If I reflect on myself, whether I approach everyone with this clarity, calmness, and openness, or if I look over situations that do not directly affect me. And I think this process sets me free. The founding teacher Sotaesan emphasized, the urgent matter is not to teach everyone all the thousands of scriptures or to encourage them in all the thousands of good deeds. Rather, the most urgent matter is, first and foremost, to help them believe in and awaken to the truth of this one mind, our true nature. As we commemorate LGBTQ History Month in October and Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday the 14th, let us broaden our awareness of both favorable and adverse sensory conditions. And let us reflect on whether our thoughts, words, and actions originate from our pure, calm mind and true nature. Let us resolve to act with one-pointed compassion for all and for the healing of the whole world. We come from diverse backgrounds and identities, yet deep within our hearts, spirit, and soul, we share the same original nature. We are one, and we are whole just as we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Sean. There are so many topics to unpack and contemplate this week from this Dharma Talk. And I feel like it comes at the perfect time in the United States. This is a challenging time. You're going to have to challenge your biases, embrace diversity, experience sensory conditions as we roll through this next month during our election season and we navigate this season and time. And I hope that everyone, as Reverend Sean spoke about, can maintain clarity and calm in a centered state. May you embrace change with stillness and calm. Friends at home, during the next few minutes, you're welcome to share your thoughts in the live chat or just enjoy a few minutes of quiet reflection. Friends here in the Dharma Hall, please turn to one or two folks beside you and share your thoughts and questions with each other.
Thank you. You can continue conversing after the service is over in the Dharma hall or out in the garden. And here are some friends left chat on our YouTube. Thank you for timely and honest talk. Sometimes I make excuses for unnecessary biases, believing that they are keeping me safer. The opposite is unusual true. Opposite is usual true. We are one. And Renee, that was Polly. And Renee said, as someone who works with Indigenous people, I would definitely recommend attending an Indigenous Peoples Day event on Monday. If possible, the town of Apex is hosting one in the evening. Yeah. Thank you. And so let's settle ourselves. Why don't we settle ourselves with some power meditation for 3 minutes? You can sit up or sit back, relax your body, relax your forehead and your face. Let us just breathe.
Thank you, everyone, for practicing with us today. This afternoon, you're invited to join us for a peaceful afternoon community meditation at the Raleigh Temple. Save the date. October 27th, we are having our autumn open house. It will be held here after service from 12 to 4. And there will be a temple experience, healing sound bath, which is lovely, Korean tea ceremony, Qi Gong meditation, games, crafts, fellowship, gift shop, everything you can want. So please join us. We are working on sprucing up our gardens to make them extra inviting for our friends that attend our open house and for Reverend Won, who is coming home this week. So if you're able to lend a hand this week or even for the next, after service for the next 30 minutes or so, please connect with Reverend Sean and he can show you what needs the most sprucing. We always appreciate and thank you for your thoughtful donations that support our temple. And thank you so much for the kind intentions and offerings for our hurricane relief effort. On Wednesday, we sent the $3,000 we've collected so far to the Community Foundation of Western North Carolina and the Southern Dharma Retreat Center. Donations continue to arrive, and we will send our final offering on October 31st with our minds and hearts together. Now let us turn to page 13 and bless each other with our morning prayer song.
Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind. May I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with your grace. Today gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with compassion. Today making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world. It just comes to my mind that, do you remember Venerable Kwan who was here a couple months ago? Let's stretch our arms to the side and feel like embracing our friends, and you are 100 point. you are good as you are. You are whole as you are. And let's put our hands together, palms together. Let's face to the camera there and bow. Let's bow to the friends next to you.